Learning to speak fluent in the language of the universe. Develop the skills that tap into truth and not what you've heard. Welcome to Chilling with Alizé, episode 2. I got Jordan in the building.
Yeah.
Jordan from Def Jam Records. How you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm blessed to be here. Happy to share this moment.
Of course.
Use our voices to express how we're feeling in this chaos. 2020.
Yeah.
You remember how we were excited?
Yeah, I'm still excited, but yeah, I remember.
Nah, it's like...
I'm still excited.
It's like, really has not disappointed. It's
been crazy.
A lot.
No, we're going to talk about this year forever. We're going to talk about this year forever.
So, did you have any 2020 resolutions or plans?
Yeah, stop letting this negative energy get into me. That's it.
That's always a plan. That's always a goal.
But I've really made it my focus this year, and it's crazy how I was making it a focus, and then all of this negative energy comes. You know, Kobe and Pop. You know, Kobe is my guy. Like I'm Kobe. Like it's Jordan and then Kobe to me. Like that's it. And then Pop. You know, Pop's from my hood, and then him dying and.
Pop.
All of this stuff going on, the COVID right after, and we was doing the mural. COVID stopped the mural because they didn't want to go out and do the mural when it started. And it's crazy. But it's just helping me just absorb everything and just be like, yo, I remember. I mean, in 2030 we're gonna be, yo, remember 10 years ago? I remember. Like I just that's where I'm putting my mind, you know.
In the future, I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm praying we make it there, you feel me?
No, of course.
Because now they're talking about an asteroid coming for us.
Hey.
I don't know if you heard about that.
They was telling us the world was going to end in 2012.
Spoiler alert.
They was telling us the world was going to end in 2012. The
That
Mayans said that, right? Remember the Mayans said that?
2012.
Yeah. Remember it was, what was it, March something? And home radio, the guy was on the radio. Was
out of all of this craziness that's been going on in 2020, the biggest, most important movement for me that's been happening is the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
In my opinion, where you stand?
I stand.
Do you feel all lives matter?
I feel like Black Lives Matter too. I feel like Black Lives Matter too. I feel like everybody's life has meaning. Everybody's life has their own meaning to them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna sit here and expect people to put meaning on black people's lives. You know, at the end of the day, you know, white people got their own meaning of their lives, and black people have their meaning of their lives. So we're gonna sit here and continue a separation when we all had COVID. I mean, we all had to deal with it, right? We all had to go through it. Even people with money was going through it. They couldn't go nowhere. They missed out on a lot of money. People think that's a joke. Like, these people with money missed out on touring. They missed out on stuff. Race, regardless. Doesn't matter.
During this COVID-19, the music industry has definitely taken a big hit. Has Def Jam Records
we've
been feeling any type of way?
Man, we've been
restructuring. You know, A&R, you deal hands-on with artists. Has that limited contact since, obviously? Is it different since the whole virus? Is anything even really happening with music?
Of course, you know, a lot of artists, they're having to become, you know, self-reliant, and they have to be doing it at home. They have to get it together. A lot of the good artists, they got their home studio.
Do you still manage to consult with them, though, when they work from home?
Oh, of course. You know, we on Instagram. We know each other's numbers. Like, I speak to a couple artists that we got. You know what I'm saying? I keep in tabs with them. More so, though, like, just on this movement, it's tough. I feel like, you know, I'm from being on both ends of the spectrum. I want everybody to be able to just have no type of judgment on your skin color, on that characteristic. Your complexion, something that you can't even control. You know what I'm saying? But it comes down to, you know, respect At the end of the day, you know, we gotta respect ourselves, or nobody's gonna respect us. Nobody's gonna respect black people unless, you know, we come out and we go, you know, we're not doing this. We're not moving like this. We're not gonna fall into this looting business. We're not gonna fall into this, you know. I get the aggression and the violence sometimes. I get it's needed, and I get that part of it, but it's truly not even there. It's truly not there. You look at all the people that's not even cops that done commit a hate crime. You look at Zimmerman, these other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't even cops.
Isn't
they still
it
went
wicked?
in the streets.
It's so wicked how hate has no color, you know?
But man, you don't want to blame the parenting, but yo, if your parents raised you that everybody is cool no matter what race, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to meet, there's going to be, you know, clowns. There's going to be clown people that are, you know, Italian. There's going to be clown black people. There's going to be clown.
Where do you stand on race? Where do you stand as professionally and personally?
Professionally, I am stereotyped as black. I go outside. I'm not stereotyped as white.
Really?
They don't know I'm white. Nobody's looking at me like, oh, his mother's white. Nobody's looking at me and saying that. They're looking at me like either I'm Spanish, Middle Eastern, or I'm black. They don't know that. They don't know I'm Jamaican. They don't know that. They don't know nothing of that. So I go outside and I get stereotyped all the time. I pull out my PBA card and like, who's this? Like, what the hell? Like, you mean? Like,
stay for the record one time. Who are you though?
I'm Jordan Blake. That's who I am. Like,
true.
I do radio and promotions at Def Jam. Radio marketing and lifestyle promotions. I've been there 5 years, and I do A&R on the side. I just love music. I'm in the industry. Mm-hmm. I love music. Music is my life. Music is my passion. You know, that's what keeps me going.
Big facts.
For real.
So there's no specific album or specific artist that's been keeping you through right now, holding you down?
Right now, man, I just been listening.
You got a playlist that you could recommend for shorty?
You know what's crazy, man? I don't listen to playlists. I listen to albums. I try to absorb just the album itself. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I haven't been listening because when I have my downtime, I'm just not trying to escape what's going on, but I try to think of other things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to, when I have my time to myself, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this, like, you know, like, not depressing, but this music that's really relating to what's going on now. Like, I try to change it up. I try to listen, you know, Pierre Bourne and, you know, Gunna. I listen to Key Glock. I listen to these people. I try to mix them up. They're not sitting here talking. They're not preaching, you know, no conscious stuff. Right. But their melodies and their stuff like that, I feel like I'm just creative, just mentally. So listening to their creativity and just other artists' creativity just lets me think about different things, you know, think about fashion, just think about life. And I use that probably just to keep myself sane and keep myself, I guess, not occupied in a negative way. Even though the music's kind of raw. Key Glock is talking about killing people. Like, it's real. It's real, but, you know, even coming from Canarsie, like, that's just what you're used to. You just that's your understanding of life. Like, that could happen. Like, that's what goes on. So as a black man, how are you feeling in America? I feel like we gotta decide if we're gonna be with white people or not. You know, we're trying to make white people decide if they're with us or not. Like, are we gonna be with white people or not? Because, you know what I'm saying, they could all these labels could be like, yeah, we're rocking with y'all and we're, you know, we got y'all back. But when it come down to that money, you know, here's we only got 5 mil, here's 2, and they got 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what goes on. So if we're going to continue to separate, then we have to separate in accordance. And if we're not going to separate, then we have to be aware of, you know, knowing the law, lawyering up, getting, you know, if you're going to carry a gun, you know, you should legally carry a gun. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have, you know, we got to try our best to suit ourselves up if we're going to separate. But if we're going to unite, then we got to prepare ourselves for that shit.
Yeah, that's facts.
We got to prepare ourselves. But, you know, they're not going to, you know, treat us You know, like the people. I always. It just comes at the end of the day. I feel like white people, they're fighting for their own freedom of speech, because anybody says something that somebody deems racist, and it's like, oh, everybody's not gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna rock with you if you say that. So there's white people that truly feel like they're better than black people, and they don't have to consider themselves being around black people. And hey, you could feel that way. Once you start killing people and all that, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? My pops had an analogy. He was like, if somebody writes a book about a crazy serial killing and they never commit the serial killing, and they wrote the book about it, and it was an amazing book, you know, nobody would ever be like, oh, they're a serial killer, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could he think like this? Why could he think about this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But once he goes out and commits the crimes, then it's like, okay, wow, this is a problem. You know, white people, you want to be racist, be racist. Go do that on your own on your own time. You know what I'm saying? No, go do that.
Don't bring that over here.
And now, once you start going into now, I'm gonna employ myself in a positional job that's going to make me oppress y'all. And once you decide that you're gonna be a oppressor, it's a problem. But it's just like,
is that how you deal with it? How do you deal with racism personally?
I laugh.
Because to be honest, I had seen something that I had educated myself and read certain phrases from a casual racist. And I was like, what? That went completely over my head.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't even peep. You know what I'm saying? That they were trying to make a fool of me. And you ain't even think, but now I know to educate myself with the response.
Yeah.
So now it's like, I'm not as dark, but I'm black. I'm half Dominican.
Yeah.
So if you're not speaking up against it, even in the most casual sense, it's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
But it's just a personal experience. So I know it's not like gonna change the world or whatever, but it's important that it starts with your personal world. No.
That's the only thing that matters. Your personal world, because. Right. I can't.
It's one step at a time.
I don't know whose car this is. I don't know him. I can't affect his life. I don't know this person. You know what I'm saying? I can't just pull up and just affect. I can't affect his life. I can't just pull up and do something and put myself in his life. But like, I don't know who he's going home to. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that outstanding imprint on him. So what do I have to do? I have to put that outstanding imprint on myself, and whoever I could leave it on, and let them carry it on. That's who I deal with, and that's who I come around. But not everybody's going to understand you, and not everybody's going to feel you and understand where you're coming from, or even get your desire to help people look at it like criticism, or you trying to change them. And it's just like, certain people just need to add different characteristics in order to be, you know, to expand. But certain people like who they are, and you can't say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things that come with that. There's a lot of different things, you know. There's a lot of different, you know, people, they go through their own things and it make them who they are. So I could never just, it's hard to be that powerful where you can really just affect people that you don't know. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to affect people in a positive way, but, you know, I don't know if I can. So I have to start somewhere. I have to start with myself, and I have to start with the people around me.
Facts.
You know?
I appreciate that. That was dope. I like that.
I mean, I thought
it's true, though. No, it's really true. It's personal. It's one step at a time. So, see, but you're unlike us. Not a lot of people are as bright stars like us, right? So we have that strong mentality through the hard times, right? So my thing is, how is it you're able to maintain your mental health? So, I mean, for me, it's not effortlessly, but it's almost like second nature.
Yeah.
Where I feel if I'm overwhelmed, I will take a break and, like, take a moment to appreciate that I'm actually here, actually living, and actually trying to do things one step at a time with the people around me.
Yeah.
But other times people respond in the exact opposite way, and they just close themselves off completely.
Yeah, you know, I think.
So I know, I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, where it's at with, you know, you and A&R and everything, and you deal with the artists. And this whole COVID-19, I know the music industry is taking a hit, so it's just, I know, how has the interaction been different? It has to have been different. And if you see any type of negative influences on mental health, do you really feel like you should step in?
Well, I feel like to keep myself straight, it comes down to your thinking, you know what I'm saying? People, they allow, like, drugs to just completely influence their entire being of, you know, reality. And sometimes you gotta sit there, you gotta really understand what's in front of you. You know, sometimes you can't be high, you can't be on drugs, you can't be on something. You gotta really sit there and deal with what's in front of you sober. You really gotta deal with it. You really gotta face it. Sit there and really, like, process it in your mind. Think about it different ways. Think about what you could have done, what could be done differently, you know, how you're gonna grow from it. You have to sit down and process it truly to yourself. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to, you know, sit there and just be like, I'm gonna really talk to myself right now. But you have to have that time to yourself. And, you know, of course, like, being overwhelmed is natural, but you gotta be like, all right, I know at this point throughout the day, every day, I'm gonna sit with myself and be like, yo, I'm blessed to be here where I am. I'm grateful. I'm blessed to be breathing, have the abilities to have what I have, do what I do, and I'm willing and open to take on whatever's next. You know what I'm saying? You have to just have that mind state, and it's very hard. Not a lot of people have, like, positive, you know, thinking patterns, you know, or at least a positive thinking system. To them, it's like, well, I'm gonna feel how I feel. I'm gonna just go with it. Just gonna go, you know, commando, pretty much. See what happens. Like, it's like, nah, sometimes you have to structure yourself, or you won't have no structure down the line. You have to structure your thinking. It starts there. Because everything you do starts with a thought.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, it starts with your thinking.
So, what are some, do you believe in positive affirmations?
Oh, that's the realest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations. You know, you're sitting there and I test myself on the crazy stuff. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get a spot here today. And it'll be like 1 a.m. I should not be able to find a spot, and I'll find a spot. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll leave it. It'll be any time throughout the day. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna find a spot on this block, and I go pull up in that block, and I got a spot there. You know, it starts with little stuff like that. Like, we all have power that we don't even know we have inside. We all have this different type of, you know, energy that's almost like a video game. Like, people really think it's like I'll be playing. Like, you can really sit there and be like, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen.
Speak it into existence type thing.
Speak it. You know, think about it enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can create that place in your brain. You can create that power to almost literally go out into the universe and create that event for you. So people they think things just happen. Like, I'm like, no, you kind of, anything crazy that's ever happened to you, you almost kind of thought about it happening before it happened. If you really think about it, like, you can never say, like, I was truly surprised, this is the craziest, surprising, out of the blue, I had no question or idea it was going to happen. A lot of times you either, like, preconceived it or, like, thought about it scarcely, or it adds up. But deja vu, all that stuff, it just comes from your brain and just your thinking. We are all incredibly powerful. We don't even understand that. Really don't. So that's what it comes down to. Us as people, just even artists, they have to understand how powerful they are. Like, they could say whatever and make kids recite their whole lyrics. Like, that's power in itself. I'm talking about power as in, like, their thinking and what they want to do with themselves. Like, if anybody sees $1 million and they think positively and they think good with life, they should be good forever. You know what I'm saying? But if they see $1 million and they're thinking, you know, all crazy type of stuff, or their head filled up with a whole bunch of negative ideas, they might go broke.
So how do you deal with that, though? Like, because
you gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself. And you have to know your limits. You have to know who you are. Know your surroundings. You gotta be aware. You know. That's why I'm saying, like, things don't truly surprise people. Like, you got an intuition. Like, you're not retarded. I don't think anybody is mentally retarded. Because even the people that we say, like, have, like, all these different type of, you know, conditions, You know, what's the dude's name? Stephen Hawking, is that who he is? In the wheelchair? Like, he can't even move, and he's smarter than everybody. Like, it has nothing to do with anything. It's your brain and your thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, if you could just process how powerful you can be mentally, then everything else just comes with it. Everything else comes with it. Everything you want, everything you desire, it just comes with it. If you just process it in a positive way, you have a positive, like, outlook on the situation. You know, you have, you know, positive intentions. You're going to get positive things coming your way. You sit there and you cloud your brain, negative this, negative that. It's literally a flow of life. Circle of life. What you give is what you get.
So, with all of this positivity that we manifest in through the negative, dark times as Trump as president, I mean, how do you even,
man,
is he your president? Because he's not my president.
Yeah, he is.
And I need you to vote. You gonna vote this year?
I'm gonna say something. He is your president. He
no,
is your president.
We need to vote. I need to vote.
You're not telling nobody that we're voting. You gotta vote for somebody other than Biden. You better vote for a fourth party.
You're not Biden?
You better vote for a fourth party. The Democrats lost me. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I get Bernie got his own stints and all of that, but Biden, that's what we're talking about now. Come on now. At the end of the day, I feel like if they cared about us, they would give us somebody solid.
Biden's not solid.
If they really cared about us, and if they were like, you know what, we want to make America actually great again. If they really wanted to really,
you know what I was thinking? I was like, yo, that's so backwards how they got that whole saying, "Make America Great Again."
It never was.
If
great.
that was the case, and you really wanted to make it great, you would put the blacks in power, bro, and just let them handle it real fast.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about every time blacks get put in power, I was talking about it before with the black labels, you know, black executives. The guy put up the post about black people.
How do you feel about black-owned businesses?
Black-owned businesses, I respect black-owned businesses. I do. That's what all people of races should do. They should start their business. You shouldn't have to go to another race of people and go and get the okay. Like, but if you do that, you got to know what it comes with. But if you could do it by yourself, do it by yourself. But again, black people, it's okay. Black people, yo, they want to sit here and be like, yo, you black, you want to create a black business? Yo, I'm only hiring black people. Yeah, that's great. White people cannot do that. White guy starts his own business, talk about not hiring anybody as white, unless they're white. Affirmative action, you know, everybody's coming in. It's a whole investigation. White supremacy is a problem. But black people do that exact same thing. And I feel like these white people are just fighting for their opportunity to just have a voice as well. Because they're like, okay, so, you know, we can't even do that. We can't even openly have a problem no more. Now it's like all the white racists are going to go back closeted again. And now everybody's going to act like they're pro-black just to shut everybody up. And that's not the case. Because I don't know why. I don't think... I'm not saying that white people think they're better than black people, but white people think they are better than black people. And black people think they're better than white people. And that's both racist. Sorry I'm saying some crazy stuff, but it's both racist. It's both forms of racism. Black people think they're better than white people. Anything with white people know it's racism. No one race is better than the other race. Racism is that belief. Your race is better than another race. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what race it is. So... It comes back from mental insecurity and family structural values and history. White people want to keep their race alive, so they gotta band together. Go ahead. Black people need to band together, but they're not gonna, cause these black label executives is robbing these black artists. I'm serious. It's been happening forever.
So it's black on black crime.
Black on black crime's been happening forever as well, but you know what it comes from? I'll blame the system on that, because the system. I always tell people, I was like, if you took a kid from the hood and put him in a white neighborhood and everybody knew he was there and everybody treated him like he was part of them,
and he was there for a year, his life would change. He would never be the same way. You put a person in the hood and you put them in this box in the projects, and they just gotta go every day throughout collecting welfare, EBT, all that stuff, not getting a lot of money, low income. Their whole surrounding is the hood. All their surroundings is street life, weed, all of that shit. Half of these people, their parents been on drugs, drink, some shit like that.
And there's always some crazy.
There's always some crazy shit. And that's the society that was created for black people. And you know what? It's terrible. It's terrible that it's created like that, but we got to do something about it.
You know what's crazy? I had just read The Science of Getting Rich, right? And I had mentioned, I highlighted something along the lines that it said that the oppressed subconsciously agree to their oppression or their oppressor.
Yeah.
I was like,
but that's what's going on right
that
now.
kind of is exactly what's going on right now, and it kind of just blew my mind, because now is we're using our time to speak up, right? But why now? Why did it have to take
I gotta take cops doing the killing. I feel like if we kept it on the
or
cops,
the fact that it was recorded,
different
the fact that there's a
recorded,
pandemic,
yeah,
quote unquote, going on, and there's no other distraction but for you to see the murder. So now the choice is like, you're really in a position to say something, if anything.
Yeah.
And if you don't say anything,
People
you're
look at you
somewhat
crazy.
of a racist.
And that's crazy, right?
So where is it that you stand with that? Because I know I see both sides too. But I'm like, I feel like you wouldn't, there's no need for you to be silent. Like, I feel like, why would you be silent? Because that's just where it stems from me, personally. Now, I think maybe it's just personal.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, just people got the right to feel how they feel, man. I don't know what people, went through growing up. I don't know people's experiences. You know what I'm saying? I know Italian people that's probably racist. They rock with me. And they don't even, they didn't know I was white when they was rocking with me. But they was dealing with me on a respect level. But they probably stereotype people. I believe that. But it comes down to, at the end of the day, what you're going to do about it when you come down to, I have to communicate with this other race of person. So, to me, with people and just not saying something, I don't...
But for me, it doesn't come down to race.
I'm not checking it. I'm not checking off people like, oh, you didn't say this, you didn't say anything, you're not with us.
But it's not about race. For me, it would just be about you witnessing a murder.
A murder.
It's just like...
I expected people to shed a light on the murder.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's not about race. For me, that's where I was standing personally. I didn't want you to get it confused.
I don't think anybody
I don't think you should ever
defending these
no,
these
yeah,
cops.
but regardless, I don't think you should be silent about anything. Like, especially that, if anything.
I feel you, but certain people, it's just touchy, yo. Certain people, like...
So you wouldn't say anything?
I said stuff. I made it... I highlighted the situation at hand.
Hold on. Don't get upset.
What?
You flex.
Oh, no. I'm used to it. No, I'm saying, like, I highlighted what happened. I posted about it.
Right.
And I'm black. At the end of the day, I go outside, I'm black to them. So it's not like I have to... It's not like I'm like, what side am I on? Like, it's not nothing about sides now. At the end of the day, it's about who am I as a person. As a person...
It's about your character.
It's just about your character. Like, you probably don't want to deal with somebody that you think is racist. You probably don't want to deal with them. You probably don't want to be around them because they're racist. Okay. That's your business, though. That's who you are, though. That's up to you. If you're going to go deal with them, work with them, be around them. You know what I'm saying? Now the problem comes when you got to be forced to deal with them, and then it becomes a problem and it's become apparent to you. That's when the whole conversation comes. If you're going to be a racist, keep that to yourself.
So do you really...
Keep it to yourself. Closet yourself. Just keep it to yourself.
Do you think there's a lot of closet racists in the Def Jam or music industry?
I mean, I'm not a Def Jam.
Not a Def Jam.
But other places, I don't know. I feel like...
Just generally in the industry. Closet racist.
Of course, but this closet racist everywhere. There's closet racists all over. But to me, go ahead, do that. Just don't do anything. Just don't practice it. Don't take it out on nobody. Keep that to yourself. You feel like you're better, you feel like, cool, do that. You can feel that way. Once you start becoming violent, once people start dying, once you start getting jobs to go oppress black people, that's a problem now. Now you're creating the bigger part of the separation on the white end, but then black people got to respond a little better, man. I said, if we came in and we was like, yo, past Black Lives Matter, we're y'all. We're all together in this. If we came out like we're all together, we're all one, we're all one. Injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. That's the saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now this whole Black Lives Matter just left the whole thing now. We just left the whole aspect because now we're creating more division with white people. Are we trying to be on a level or are we trying to divide ourselves? And if we're not going to be like, yo, we're a part of this too, y'all forgetting we're all living in the same place. We're all doing these same things. We all go to Walmart. We all go eat Chinese food. We all go here.
Oh,
we all go do that.
But with the new information, did you find out new information about supporters of Trump? Would you still be using that service?
Of course. Why not?
Why not?
They probably send money the other way too.
Which other way?
They
the
send
black
money.
communities?
They send money. They probably send money to the Democrats too. They probably send money to Biden too. What are we talking about? They have to play both sides. It's not like they're sitting here like why are we surprised that people with money is giving the person that's the president right now, who's pretty much as financial savvy as all these people, their money? Why is that surprising? I'm not surprised at that at all. I'm surprised more that the companies are not donating the money to these charities and these like funds going on in these states that need it, and they're donating to Trump instead. That's probably the conversation. They can donate to Trump. They should also be donating to these these funds and these charities that are really taking care of people in the streets, that are really fighting COVID. They're not donating to those charities. That's the conversation. I don't give a damn they sent their money to Trump. They could have sent their money to anybody. Go ahead. Why do I care where you sent your money? I wasn't seeing none of that. I wasn't seeing none of Wendy's money. I wasn't seeing Uber's money. They ain't giving us no money. We got a problem that you gave it to him. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Because the people with money aren't having these conversations. They're not having problems with where people with money is giving their money. People with money are like, oh, then I'm just going to put my money here then.
But don't you feel if we stopped giving them our money, they wouldn't have that money to give to him?
Yeah, of course. We giving them the money.
That's the whole point of a
We're
boycott.
giving them the money. Nobody's boycotting Wendy's. They have $4. You get 4 things for $4.
That's a tough one.
And 56 cents. You gotta stop playing around. It's a war. It's a mental war. It's mental warfare. You gotta understand all these chains. It's mental warfare. They mentally get you to feel like you need to do these things and to buy these things. You need to spend $4.56 on food because you ain't got a lot of money. And that's a meal. There's a soda, fries, nuggets, and a sandwich. $4. I'm a vegan. I can't get nothing for $4. I get a side for $4. I get a side of basmati rice for $4. You got a whole meal. I can't even get a smoothie for $4. I get a shot. I get a flu shot. I get a ginger shot $4. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's mental warfare. I had to create a place in my mind where it's like, you know what? I don't need to eat meat. I don't need to eat fast food. I don't need to do that. No matter how much money it's saving me, no matter all of that, end of the day, I don't need that stuff. I need to eat to survive, and I don't need to eat meat. I need to eat vegetables. You feel me? I need to eat grains and legumes. and seeds. You feel me? Like, I need to eat
Nuts
these things.
and berries and shit.
And fruits. I need to eat these things. That's what I need to eat. Drink water. I don't need to eat a Baconator.
Heavy. It worries me how people don't eat fruit.
People need studies to know that fruit is healthy.
It's crazy. You know, half of America, well, most of American food is banned in other countries.
Of course. Even the products are different. The ingredients in the products are different. But that just comes from the mass distribution, and that those
McDonald's gives to Trump. That didn't surprise me. I seen that one.
Wendy's too, though. Like,
Wendy's.
come on, like, what are we surprised
Snapchat
about?
stopped, apparently.
What are we
That's
surprised about? I'm not surprised. These people don't surprise me.
And it hasn't stopped your business.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's
Why
fine.
am I mad that these people with money gave the person with money to handle money?
That's not my business.
That's not my business. When I get money, then I'm gonna sit there and be
out.
like, yo, damn it.
It's true though.
But at the end of the day, we not. That's what I'm saying. Are we gonna separate, or are we here to separate, or are we here to unite? Because if we're here to separate, then we're looking at that list and we're saying, okay, we need to. Where's the black-owned food chains? If we're separating, where's the black-owned, grocery store chains? Where are these places? I forgot what it is. I seen there's a new black-owned kind of like Uber rideshare kind of service. I don't know what it's called, but I've seen it. But like stuff like that, like we got to either separate or unite. Right. That middle leaves so much room for all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if our agenda is to separate and our agenda is to unite at the same time, then that's also confusing. Because it's like I'm watching all these different protests, and it's like some of these people are like, "Oh, we're all one," and I'm watching other people like, "We're tired of being oppressed." It's like, wait, you see what I'm saying?
It's true. Like, are you angry?
Pick a side. I'm not angry. I'm not angry because, come on, like, this ain't the first time we protest and stuff. And white people protest everything. White people protest when their team lose. White people, I will not protest. Riot.
The amount of riots.
They riot when their team lose. They riot when their team wins.
Embarrassing.
And it's like, but you know what it is?
So embarrassing.
But you know what it is?
It's just so
we talk
crazy.
About white privilege and all of that stuff.
It's baffling.
White people know the law. I'm watching these white people come outside with M16 strapped on their chest, a bulletproof vest on, walking outside in the street. He knows the law about gun carry. He knows it completely. You're not going outside with a gun on you unless you know the law. They move around, they know the law. That's the problem. I watch mad videos of these black dudes that know the law killing these cops, bro. Not physically, but like getting at them. Because they know the law. You can't do these things. You can't move this way. And they're going to listen to it. Them cops are going to listen to it and really get at you. They're really going to be like, oh, you know what? He knows the law. I'm not even going to play with him. Like, that be the thing. Like, we as black people don't know our laws. We don't know the law. We don't know what the law is for riding around at this time in this place doing this speed. Like, we don't know these laws. We know the simple laws. You have to follow the signs, not past the speed limit. Here's a couple red light cameras. That's it. That's all we know. We don't know the law about walking outside with weed on us and all of that. Cop tried to see me outside smoking, talking about he could arrest me. No, you can't. It's not an arrestable offense no more. It's a $50 fine. If that. It's not an arrestable offense.
Knowledge is power.
But knowledge is power. Black people don't know that. A lot of black people don't know the law. I'm not saying that all white people know the law, but these white people that go outside and do the stuff that they're doing, they know the law. Or they know somebody that they can call immediately and be like, yo, here's what happened. And they're going to call them back and be like, this is what you're going to say.
But you cannot deny that there's absolute white privilege.
There's white privilege. You know what? There is white privilege amongst white people. They're white. Because when black people are cops and they see the stuff going on, they should be having black privilege and allowing the black people off the same way white people will come off. But black people don't even be like that with each other. White privilege with white people. Duh. What are you surprised? They're white. It's same race privilege and we're surprised. We have to put ourselves in position to leverage the privilege. That's it. We're so like, I can't believe that this white guy sided with this white guy. No matter who was wrong. I can't believe it. Come on, bro. Like, white people do bad stuff too, you know. They don't always let white people off, you know.
They ain't care about Prince. They ain't care about none of them.
Mike and Prince, they don't care about us.
So understanding that, like, we just expecting them to care, and that's the problem. We're just expecting them to care. Like, oh, this was years ago, and it's been 40 years, and we passed these laws.
We gotta
and all that.
stay
Like,
consistent, persistent,
That's deep,
to
man.
know the law, because knowledge is power, right?
Knowledge is power, yo.
You know what I'm saying? You can't really see race. I don't see race. You see race.
No, you're supposed to see race.
Race
you
is
gotta see
man-made.
race.
Race
Race is man-made. You are correct. Race is where your family was in reference to the sun. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all, you know, the Middle Eastern people, y'all was in the Middle East, y'all family was in the Middle East, so y'all had a different spectrum of the sun than the people in Africa did. And then the white people was up in Europe and up there. They didn't really have sun. So they wasn't getting sun like they was getting down at the equator. You see what I'm saying?
What are you talking?
Bro, this is the facts. I'm serious. The pigmentation was affected by where we were.
That's
where
all
our
it
family
is.
line
Just a little
was
bit
down
more.
the line.
Exactly. It's a little bit more of a pigment. Oh, okay. Now I see what
But
you're
it's
saying.
all reflected from the sun. It all came from the sun.
Heard you. Yeah, I got lost.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, what is this nigga chatting about?
I don't even think you know where we going.
No, you're going straight. You know, it comes down to love and fear and what you care about, what you strive about, and what you put your attention to, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of negative out there.
A lot.
But
And it's waiting for you to find it.
it's not that won't bring you together. It just divides everything, right? So, I mean, truthfully, just what are some words you want to give the people of that's just dealing with everything that's going on, whether it be because we not anti-racist, we not anti-Trump.
No, I think we just have to have our own thoughts. I feel like it comes down to we're so
We are
influenced.
individuals.
We're individuals, and we have so much power. I was saying it before, like, we're so powerful. We can literally create things by thinking.
What are some tips that you could give these people to just
Listen
use
to
your
yourself.
superpower? Like,
Listen to yourself.
because you got superpowers, you gotta own them.
Listen to yourself. Listen to
It
yourself.
all starts in your personal world.
It starts in your personal world. You gotta trust who you are. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta educate yourself. You gotta really read books, learn them words. And you ain't know them SAT tests. For real. Learn them. They mean stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
Read more books.
And, you know, read more books for real. Like,
Have you
learn
read
other people's perspectives.
The Way of the Superior Man?
I have not. I should.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read that.
I recommend that.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
I'd say if you recommend a book, I'd recommend The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. You
Okay.
know, she.
Put me on.
It's a dope book. It really teaches you like how your personal power and how powerful your thoughts can be, and you know just the things you say, just how literally they come to life.
Right.
You know, so understanding that power, you know, read that book. People know it themselves without even doing that, but you know, it's just about educating yourself to who you are, you know, what your potential is, what you can do. You know, I never tell somebody, you know, don't think you can do something till you try, and even if you try, you know, that don't mean you don't know how to do it. That don't mean you can't learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I was a kid, I used to watch my parents drive. I was like, wow, driving looks so hard. I was a kid, I was like 5 years old. I'm like, wow, look at all these cars. How can they navigate through this? Now I'm just driving.
Right.
Like, it's almost like I'm just in a box transporting myself to another place. Like, it doesn't even feel like I'm sitting here like like scared about the road. Like, I feel like I'm getting here to point A to point B.
Yeah.
You know, and it just comes with practice and just trusting yourself, you know. But
it's about
it's
developing discipline.
It's developing discipline within yourself 100%. That also, that's the only way to sustain. Because you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you follow the codes or not. But the only way you're gonna keep it is if you really tap in with yourself and, like you said, you know, create that level of discipline where it's like, you know what, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't put myself in that situation, can't put myself in this situation. You know, you respect yourself.
Wise up,
know
choose
yourself
wisely.
You gotta respect yourself and know yourself. That's it. You know who you are, you know what you want. Don't take nothing less.
Just know yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me.
Thank you for having me.
You know, just trying to spread the wealth, the positivity.
Of course, every day.
The knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Gang shit.
Truth is power. Gang, for real.
Thank you.
That's a fact. Thank you.